Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. XRP Army in the house. Today, we got XRP Army down 5%. Crazy just happening. This last 1 hour candle just melted. Absolutely crazy. We did break below the 21 exponential moving average, the 50 moving average, and the 50 exponential moving average all at the same time, along with a red blood diamond from the market cipher indicator. Got down to the bottom of the channel of our Nadaria Watson envelope and rejected off there. Now, we do see some crazy drops, still potential here on the 1 hour. As we take a look back at the daily charts, we are still bullish for the time being. We've been expecting some sort of pullback, some sort of leveling out. We've been really doing very well on the move to the upside. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about XRP on the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour in the charts. We also have this incredible XRPL to provide tech basis for at least 6 stable coins. We'll be jumping into that article today. And we're going to jump over to one of my favorite price analysis articles that comes out every other day. This is Rakesh Upadehi's price analysis for all of the top cryptos. We're going to be taking a look at the XRP charts and his ideas today as well. Today's going to be an awesome video for you. Thank you guys for joining me. By the way, my name is Ryan Huggins. If you're new here, I'm a crypto and real estate investor here in Orange County, California. And my job is to help be your crypto shortcut. Because if you're like most people, you probably don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day reading through articles, going through headlines, watching YouTube videos, and checking the charts all day long. But that is what I do. That's what we do here on this channel. We bring that information to you in a condensed manner. So if you're looking for a shortcut for crypto, smash that subscribe button. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the news today. We will also be checking over here on Crypto Panic. We'll also travel into the trending news, but I wanted to cover this article here first and foremost with the XRP ledger. We've been talking a lot about the XRP ledger lately, the importance of it. The news is coming out about how powerful it is. And now we have a new article here about at least 6 stable coins will be a tech basis on the XRPL. Stablecoins are among the core focus areas for applications on the XRP ledger. And as we've been talking about, the United States wants to create what? Stablecoins, CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. They will be stablecoins as well. They're not, obviously people think right now, what is a stablecoin? USDT, USDC, things of that nature, right? So those are what people think of as stablecoins now, but what will be stablecoins in the future? So as of Q4 2022, development team in various regions across the globe are building stable cryptocurrencies using it as a technical platform. Stably, Stasis, Novati, who else? Anonymous cryptocurrency experts who goes by W. Kahneman on Twitter shares the digest of the most promising stablecoins on project on XRP ledger. So here we have recently, there have been a number of stablecoins announced on the XRPL. Any others of note? So Stably, USDS, Stasis, EUROS, Zago, XUS, Palu, USD something, Novati, AUDC. So for those of you guys that are not into foreign exchange, maybe you don't do foreign exchange trading, this would be obviously the United States dollar stablecoin. This would be the euro stablecoin. XUS is probably gold against the United States. And then this one, they don't even know yet. And then this would be the AUD versus the United States currency, or maybe even against the Canadian dollar. We're going to find out as we move forward with this. Most of them are not only using the XRP ledger for its software, but are also actively collaborating with Ripple Inc., the parent company, in engineering and marketing. For instance, Stably, USDS, is being developed by Seattle-based Web3 project Stably. As covered by you today previously, they decided to expand its product to XRPL in early September. Euro-pegged stablecoin EUROS or EURS by Stasis can be unveiled in mainnet as soon as Q4 2022 per the previous statements of the team and Ripple. XUS stablecoin by South African platform Zago is already on the way to XRP Ledger's mainnet. So maybe that's the South African currency that they're using then. It's interesting. Palu rolls out its CBDC together with Ripple. Besides that, XRPL-based products are building stable coins with unusual assets. For instance, Germany-based Novati Group Limited is going to issue Australian dollar-backed stablecoins, AUDC, with Ripple support. Auri, AUR stablecoin, is expanding to the XRP ledger and its compatible blockchains Flare and Songbird. Last but not least, the state of Palu is experimenting with the central bank digital currency, CBDC, on the XRP ledger. The cryptocurrency progress strategy for this country is also developed by Ripple. So let's say, for example, XRP is the ledger of choice where all of the other stable coins are implemented, right? The USDC stable coin, the Euro stable coin, all of these and so on and so forth. Would that then still make XRP the go-to coin for cross-border payments? Because basically they would be transferring a USDC stablecoin into the XRP ledger. XRP uses their on-demand liquidity, sends it out, automatically does the exchange to the other country right through the back. So you can definitely see how that would be a huge, huge opportunity for XRP. So we talked about this in the previous video about how there's $42 trillion worth of money in circulation, and what that would equal when you have 100 billion tokens came out to like $420 per XRP token. But if that's just dollar for dollar, remember, there is also the case where right now a dollar is actually able to be lent out 10 times. So the actual supply of the dollar is larger than the real amount of dollars. So people talking about, oh, well, XRP could only be $420 because there's only $42 trillion in circulation. Well, circulation continues to increase, which is interesting. But not only that, the circulation is multiplied over time. So what if it could go 10x of that? So instead of $420 per coin, now you're $4,200 per coin. Interesting things ahead for XRP, XRP Ledger. Stick with us. Don't forget, we're going to be covering all the news for you in the future as well. Now let's jump over here to a nice price analysis, and then we'll do our own personal analysis. This is basically where I personally learned how to do my charting, how to read charts before I learned any of the tools. I would jump onto Cointelegraph. I would go to this article and look through all the coins that I cared about, and I would read them, and I would use these simple indicators to help myself gear what's going on, right? And that's the moving average 50, which is the red line, and the EMA, which is the exponential moving average of the 20, the blue line, and then we have the RSI. So if you have a free TradingView account, you can actually use that, which is really, really cool. So the bulls tried to push XRP, which is currently sitting at 52 cents, just dropped, like I said, that crazy candle down to 50 cents. We are down 5.64. Just wanted to cover that. But they did push above the overhead resistance to 56 cents, but the bears did not budge. So when we got to that 56 cent level, they pushed it back down. The sellers will attempt to pull the price back to the 20-day EMA of the 47 cent range. And we'll check this in the live charts as well. But we'll go ahead and take a look at this diagram that was drawn here. As you can see, price did come down, tapped once before, tapped a second time off the 20 moving average, pushed away, came down, retested that 20. The bulls continuing to buy these dips here. So bulls pushed up, came back down, bulls stepped in, bulls stepped in. Now it looks like the bears are trying to push this down. It's our first legit red candle in quite some time. We did cover that yesterday as well. So today it is pushing down. Right now, the EMA, the 20 EMA is hovering at 47 cents. RSI currently sitting here. We did point this out yesterday. There was a bearish divergence forming on the daily RSI, where you have a high on the RSI, you have a lower high on the RSI, but you have a high of the body here, and you have a higher high of the body on the candles here. So price rose, RSI, bearish divergence, we could see the drop from there. And if the buyers want to maintain the upper hand, they will have to buy the dips to the 20-day EMA. And if the price rebounds off of this support with strength, the likelihood of the break above that 56 cents increases. The pair could then resume its uptrend and rally to 66 cents. So like we just discussed, price rallies up, comes back down, bulls step in, rallies up, comes back down, bulls step in, push it. Now the bulls, since this is going to be a higher touch point, right? So it touched here, it'll touch somewhere up here. Bulls need to step it in and really make that volume move to make it above that 56 cents range. This positive view could be invalidated if the price turns down and breaks below the 20-day EMA. The XRP USDT pair could then decline to the breakout level of 41 cents. A bounce off of this support will indicate that the pair may remain stuck between 41 and 56 cents for some time. So jumping back here, if this price runs up, breaks below the 47, it could come all the way back down to the breakout point, which was indicated from this candle here. Also some resistance off these candles here, but this was the main breakout point. Boom, we had the big volume candle, made the move, came down, test. So we'll see, is it going to test here and up, or does it break down to here? Also getting back to our 50 moving average area. RSI is sloping down. That's a little bit of a negative vibe there, but we'll see what happens as far as price goes over the next couple of days. And by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, just financial entertainment, financial education. So make sure you do your own research on this as well. Jumping over here to the trending section at cryptopanic.com. This is one of my favorite websites for finding news. As we can see here, Bitcoin facing dearth of institutional interest despite discounted price. Bitcoin volatility index suggests large price move arriving soon. Do Kwon continues cashing out of Terra while investors remain hopeful. And I'll tell you why that's important here in just a second. It's also right here. Polygon launches testnet for layer 2 network Hermes. Charles Hoskinson believes XRP to be a commodity. He's in support of Ripple winning the case as well to support XRP. Shiba Eternity sets historic record, and Ripple keeps hiring amid bear market. Crypto News Digest. Billionaire Paul Tudor Jones says Bitcoin will have a much higher value someday. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, I did get a call from a friend of mine. Actually, it was a text asking me if the cryptocurrencies were going out forever. He's totally not involved on a regular basis. So he was like, should I sell everything I have now? I'm down pretty heavy. You know, I'm like, not financial advice, but, you know, there may be a bottom coming very, very soon. This is October. Yes, we've started October to the downside, but like we always talk about, it's nice to have a downside wick before the push to the upside. So we'll continue to follow along and see what happens. But important issue here, Terra Classic USD jumps over 35% in 24 hours as repeg proposal emerges. And at the same time, Do Kwon continues to sell his freaking Terra. So Terra Classic USD jumps over 35% in 24 hours as repeg proposal emerges. And I know a lot of you guys out there are probably still holding on to maybe, just maybe, your Terra comes back to life. I know I am. I am hoping and praying that my Terra USDT stablecoin could one day repeg. It would be the most amazing thing ever because it was a horrible loss. And for some of you out there, you took pretty large losses on this one, right? So I know some of my personal friends, I know Nick even took a pretty large hit on this. So it coming back would be a very big blessing to the entire crypto market. And let's see what this is talking about here. So after the broadly publicized collapse of Terraform Labs stablecoin Terra USD, also called UST, and its native token Luna, the stablecoin now under the name of Terra Classic USD, USTC now, has been its price rally to a month high as the Terra Classic community welcomes the repeg proposal. Tobias Anderson, a blockchain engineer and senior developer at Bitcoin Suisse AG, submitted a proposal on October 9th that outlines a solution to the problem of enormous amounts of uncollateralized Terra Classic's USTC stablecoin and the hyperinflated supply of LUNC. In the aftermath, Terra Classic price rallied to a new monthly high. The cost of USTC, Terra's classic algorithmic stablecoin, has climbed by 37% and is now trading at 4 cents on October 10th, up from 0.02 cents just a day earlier. In the last day, STC has added $106 million to the market worth, according to data retrieved by Finbold from MarketCap. Similarly, the Terra Classic token, which represents the native governance and utility digital asset of the Terra Classic network, saw a slight increase in value. LUNC is currently trading at 0003, increasing a little of 4.38% in the last 24 hours. And here's Anderson's Terra proposal. Anderson, who calls himself a diehard lunatic, wrote in a post on Medium that he is doing everything in his power to help heal the community and fix that which was abandoned by its creators. Tobias Anderson tweeted out here, as promised, at someday this will all be yours. Mountains of debt, scenic overlook. And this is kind of funny. Obviously, that is in representation to the United States dollar, but at the same time, it correlates very well to the US stable coin as it was supposed to be, Terra Classic USTC. The blockchain developer wants, among other things, to reduce the enormous amount of debt accumulated in May 2022 during the collapse of Terra Classic ecosystem, which saw 60 billion wiped off the market between LUNC and USDC. Anderson wants to recapitalize USTC using quantitative easing and tightening measures, but he won't get into the specifics of how it would work. In addition, he thinks that the repegging of USTC to its initial value of $1 is of utmost significance for the long-term prospects of Terra Classic. After the mishap in May and the subsequent prosecution of Do Kwon and other project founders by Interpol, it is possible that the future of the project may not be going as planned. However, the recent flurry of upbeat news about Terra Classic, such as the newly introduced LUNC tax system and the de-repeg plan, together with the active community, may have a chance of reviving the Terra Classic ecosystem. And again, this is not investment advice. Do your own research. All right, so let's jump into the charts here for XRP and see what is going on. Let's go ahead and start with a clean chart. So we'll remove all of our drawings. We'll also remove our border there. Okay, so first and foremost, what do we have? Well, we have the 1100 exponential moving average, which is holding on as a nice support level right now. So it could even potentially bounce off of there. Lots of people don't use this on their charts, but it is actually pretty accurate in what it does. We also have the 21 exponential moving average, which, as you saw in the analysis article, this price could continue its way down, finding itself now at 47 cents, 46.99 is where the line currently resides. As we continue our drop down, we would then run into our 50 exponential moving average, which is currently sitting at 42 cents. And then we do have our 50 regular simple moving average currently sitting at 39 cents. So those are kind of your steps level down. Let's go ahead and do our supply and demand levels outside of all of our moving averages and see what those come out to play for us, okay? So first and foremost, we're here on our daily. We find our last down candle, the blue candle before the up move, and we go ahead and peg that there. That one's gonna be yellow for our daily supply. So our daily is there. That's our last blue candle before the up move. So this price, where support will be coming into play, 46,815, 46,815. And if we turn on our 21 exponential moving average, that's exactly where that is sitting. So that would have to come down rather quickly to get that, maybe over the next day or two, if that's going to collide. Otherwise, the 21 is going to continue to climb to the upside. Now, what we also have is our top side candle here, our new, what we would call our resistance candle, which would be this one here. And as you can see right now, our candle, today's candle, just barely poked through that today. So we're going to see, we have 1 hour and 5 minutes left on this daily candle. Does it actually close below this? And that line is currently at 50 cents. That line would then become the resistance line. Does it break back through there? Now let's go ahead and do a little smaller scale search here. As we can see on the 4 hour, the 21 exponential moving is starting to curl down. Our 50 moving average did just now act as a support. We also see on the 4 hour that we are pouring outside of the white line here. It is starting to waterfall below the volatility band. So a lot of times when price gets below that volatility band, it will have a recuperation. Now, sometimes you'll see it bleed all the way down, but that is not extremely likely. Let's go ahead and do a 4-hour supply and demand levels now. We're going to remove that candle there, or that box, and remove that box there. And we're going to go ahead and take our last up candle before the down move. It's going to actually be this one right here. So the previous 4-hour candle tried to reverse that. So this is really interesting. Right now, we are playing in a very tight box for the upside. So as we can see, if this does actually close the full body down below that box, then that will be our most recent level of resistance to the upside. It's actually 51 cents, 0.5167. Now, what we'll also notice is as we are dropping, we've already dropped below this level here. Let's go turn back on Heikin-Ashi candles. We've already dropped below this box here. So we need to find one that's a little bit lower, or sorry, this box. So we would be coming to this box here, our last down candle before the up move. So we would put that there and there. And that's on the 4-hour charts. And as you can see, that is where we are right now. That did act as a support level. It did dip in there a teeny tiny bit, but it is acting as a support. So we're really in this 4-hour scheme of things, we're trading in this box of 51.67 and this level here of 49.99. If we continue to fall, let's go ahead and take a look at what happens if the price continues to drop. We do have a 4-hour supply and demand box here, which as you can see is basically connected to the bottom of that box. And if that one fails there, then we would continue our way down to here. So we have 44 cents down here, 44857, but we are in our zone right now. So depending on how strong of a support this forms right here at this box that it's currently at, 50 cents, then we would see a continued drop down to 48 cents and then possibly into this box here, which is that 48 to 47 cent box. So we got a lot of support on the way down here. Are we just having a little micro test to the downside? We will definitely find out over time. What I would like to do now also is take a look at the 1 hour, and let's get rid of all these big 4-hour situations here. Hopefully you wrote those down. And as we take a look here, we'll see if we can pinpoint some spots. So first and foremost, we do have our last blue candle before the up move. That is this candle right here on the 1 hour. We're going to change this to blue for the 1 hour candles. Okay, so we have that there. And then the box that it just broke below, which is this one here, is our 1 hour. That'll be our new current resistance. So you can see price is dropping pretty hard. It's trying to get to this level of support here, 0.49202. Again, this is on the 1 hour. So we're dropping down to a much smaller time frame, trying to get more specific where price could be going. As you can see here, the RSI is continuing to roll itself to the downside. We're getting very close to the oversold territory of 30 on the RSI. We also have the bearish red backing here. That was during that drop. We have the bearish red backing again now, and we are continuing to drop after a blood diamond on the 1 hour time frame as well. Looking here on the 30-minute time frame, it has reached the oversold territory. So potential of a recovery from here, but we are still looking at, even on the 30-minute time frame, we are looking at that supply and demand box right here. So this is likely where price could get to 49.202. If it holds support there, then we will not see a continued drop. If it doesn't hold support there, there's quite a few different levels it could break. So this level here, this level gets us 47 cents. 47 cents, 47 cents. So 47 cents can be a very, very strong level of support. If it were to break below that 47 cent level, we do have a 1 hour box right here. That gets us back to that 45 cent level. So remember, we were on our way to the upside. We were climbing. We were having to break that 55 cent level and get to the 56 cent level. We didn't get there. If we did, we were going to have 55 cent, 65 cent was the next level, 75 and 85. There was nonstop great potential to the upside after we broke this massive resistance right here. So let's go ahead and boom, that's the resistance. Okay. And we can go back in the past we're looking here on our 4-hour charts. As we continue to break above this resistance line, we were then going to have this level here, which is the 4-hour level of 60 cents, right? So there's the 60-cent level. Then after that, we were going to have the next level up, which is this one here, which is that 65-cent level. And then obviously there's a little bit of noise on the way up, but then we get to here, our 70-cent level. So on our smaller time frames, this is actually the 4-hour, we had that. On our daily time frames, it was showing much larger leaps. So again, we needed to break this 60, and I'm still very bullish on XRP. I'm just showing you the different scenarios that could play out, okay? So we need to break this zone here. It needs to break the 55, then we get to this candle here, which is our 65 cent is the top line of that resistance. And again, that was yellow for daily, okay? After that, we had our next level up to here, 75 cents. So that's our up levels. The interesting thing, we have lots and lots and lots of fighting to the downside, right? Because this long accumulation phase before this big up phase, this has a lot of resistance to the downside, right? So creating support. All these different levels that it would have to hit on the way down creates support. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it looked like before on our, let's go ahead and remove this. I'm going to show you the liquidity indicator that I like to use. So there's a liquidity visualizer. You'll see what happened. All of these different stops were creating liquidity across, right? So all of these things, people were putting it, as we were dropping here, people were putting sell order, sell order, sell order, sell order, all these sell orders. A lot of these did not take profit. They thought it was going down. All these sell orders came out, got stopped out. Well, they didn't pick up enough liquidity, so they kept on dropping it. More people got excited about selling. They went and took all of those stops, all of them, wiped them all out, as you can see right there. Now, there is currently a little bit of liquidity to the upside. However, when you take a look at all of this liquidity to the downside, right? So the market makers are looking at this saying, okay, well, if we were to move the price down below here, and our current lower low is all the way down here at 28 cents. So don't shoot me if it happens, by the way. And I'm just bringing the news. Remember, we cover price goes up and down. We cover both sides. We did see it happen here, a liquidity sweep. It went whoosh, and it closed out all of these people gaining probably billions of dollars there. So there is a liquidity level here that's up at that 65-cent level that we talked about, okay? There's also some brand new liquidity spots that just got created over the last couple of days, but there's tons and tons of downside liquidity. Now, when we take a look here at the 4 hours, it's even more obvious, right? Because they don't have to make a move, a significant downside move. All they need to do is come in and swoop all of these here. And if you swoop all of those, what does that do? That builds a big bankroll for the massive move that is wanted to the upside, right? So if we're looking here on the 4 hour also, what did we have here? We had a bearish divergence form right here on these candles. And then we started to have our drop after the bearish divergence on the 4 hour. And we do have a lot of liquidity down here. We also have a lot of room to run to the downside to the oversold territory, right? We are overbought. We were overbought all the way back here, October 22nd. Or sorry, October 5th, we were overbought, came down for a second, overbought. For a very long time, we've been overbought, and now it's coming back down to get its liquidity to the downside. Now, how far does it go? Only time will tell. That's why we're going to continue watching this. And as you saw right now, price is inside of this supply and demand box. In fact, if you want to get precise, we can go back one candle, and it just wicked off of that previous candle besides the big massive doji. So the initial spinning top versus the big major doji, that whipsaw candle, the one prior to that is right where price came to on that level. So we will continue to watch these zones to the downside. Does it come and take out all of this liquidity? Let me know down in the comment section. Do you think that XRP has the drop? Do you think it's coming down? Because remember what we covered too on our weekly Japanese candlesticks. If we go in here and we turn on our fair value gap here, Remember, we have this fair value gap right here to the 40 cent level to the downside on the weekly. All right, so down to the weekly. And if we look at the daily, we even have a massive fair value gap all the way down here at this 27 cent level, which remember, that's where all of that liquidity is sitting, right? So it comes down here, swoops that liquidity, and that is the final fair value gap for all of XRP. That's why I've just been telling you, a lot of people are like, it's going to $1,000 right now. So again, it's not financial advice. I just like to watch myself both ways. I don't want to get in too prematurely. I'm trying to find out what's happening, following the charts along. If you're liking what you're seeing, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And if you want to not have to worry about what the charts are doing because you have so much money saved up on the side, doesn't matter if the money goes or the charts go up or down, well, then you need to check out the Bull Runners Club and check
Ladies
this
and gentlemen, if you want the Run Guys passive income pathway to finally get your money right so you can truly start living your best life, just like the Run Guys do every single day with their almost 300,000 subscribers on YouTube who generate over 1 million viewers per month, then I have great news for you, my friend, because you are one of the lucky few who've gotten a chance to become one of the first ever Run Guys Inner Circle Run Pass holders and mint one of their 1,000 rare NFT crypto tokens that will have a floor price of over 10 Ethereum for the general public, but not for you, my friend. And not only that, all Run Pass holders will get first priority whitelist access to future NFT drops, invites to exclusive live events and mastermind parties around the world, and you will also get private business collaborations directly with the Run Guys. And yes, that is live in person in the most beautiful destinations around the world. So what do you need to do right now? You need to stop whatever you are doing and go fill out the 60-second whitelist application form on runpass.com to find out if you qualify to become one of the exclusive 1,000 Run Pass holders and possibly hold one of the most prestigious and valuable NFT crypto token memberships in the world. With that being said, good luck, my friend. It's time to back up the truck. Stay bullish.